Well, hello there, friends. Welcome to night 3 for the love of running live Q&A. Thank you so much for joining us. We're hoping some friends will log on. Make no mistake, this would be the better half of Team Neesit. You guys, hi, Jen here, and I'm so glad that you have joined us this week for an amazing week of For the Love of Running. Now, we've talked already a little bit about training. Coach Craig, who thinks he's cute, talked a little bit last night about racing. So if you haven't caught those live broadcasts, they're recorded. Go back and catch up. We've had some new friends join us over the week. So in case you don't know me, I'm one of the coaches here that are leading you. Been a runner my whole life and passionately helping friends, runners and non-runners alike kind of lead this healthy lifestyle. So tonight I'm warning you, you're going to want to grab a pen and paper if you don't have one. You're going to take some notes, I think. And I'm going to get a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of my coach hat on and talk to you about mindset. And it's something that I feel, maybe you're like, why are we talking about this? Well, hopefully you'll see the connection. And it's something that is not only running related, right? So we're going to dive right in. If you hop on, please say hi so that I can see who's here and say hi back. If you have questions along the way, feel free to pop them in the comments section, and I promise to be brief. So my question for you, as I always like to begin, hi dear, is have you ever wondered if you were living to your fullest potential? Have you ever wondered if you are drifting? Hi, Jeff. Or have you ever wondered if you were settling? So I know that that's kind of a deep question, but I'm going to ask you if you have ever considered whether or not you are living to your fullest potential. Hi, Lynn. I recently read this quote. The average American is 20 pounds overweight, $10,000 in debt, slightly depressed, dislikes their job, and has less than one close friend. This is a running group, so I'm not sure, maybe you're wondering why are we talking about this. Well, I will draw the connection for you clearly by the end. I want to make you think, right? We talked at the first video, I talked about training and I talked about the importance of setting goals and having a plan. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on about how my two favorite mindset tools help you achieve those goals and dreams that you set and carry out that plan. So I have some quotes for you because I love motivational quotes. Life is short. You don't have time to be mediocre. You need to wake up with determination to go to bed with satisfaction. And your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development. And this is where I'm going to put my coaching hat on and tell you guys that if you're not putting positive thoughts into your head, hopefully I've convinced you by the time this broadcast is over that you need to. So there's evidence that supports that you will not grow as a person unless you're putting positive thoughts into your head and to growing yourself on a daily basis. We practice this as coaches, we preach it as people, and we are kind of living proof that we are not the same person, people, couple that we were 2 or 3 years ago. 95% of people will wake up at the end of their journey dissatisfied with where they ended up. And I know we're committed not to be part of that 95%, but most people will. Most people are drifting. Most people don't set goals. Most people don't have a plan. Most people are so busy trying to be happy. They're so busy being busy, they don't do the things they need to do to make them happy. And running, for all of us that are here, is one of those things that makes us happy. And so this relates directly to life. My question for you guys tonight is, has anybody here ever experienced a lesson in running that they can relate to their life? I know I have. Let's talk about missing qualifying for Boston. The last time I trained 4 months for a marathon, 2 years ago, I missed my goal after thinking, dreaming, planning, training, eating, sleeping. For 4 months, I missed it by 1 minute. That was a huge life lesson that I actually used for my kids, for our kids, for them to see that you can work really hard for something and you can still fall short. Now it's taken me 2 years to get my mindset back on right to try this again. So maybe you can relate. Runners, have you had a running experience that can relate to a life experience? And that's where we're talking about, that's what I'm talking about today. I have 2 tools that I use to help me with my mindset that you can use for your training and your racing and your goal setting and your plan development. 2 of the tools that I use on a regular basis are affirmations and visualizations. Now, if you watched my video message from this morning, you got an inkling or a hint of that throughout the whole video, right? They talked about visualizations and they talked about affirmations. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about visualizing and affirming. Hi, I see Andrea and Donna have joined. Hi, you guys. We're talking mindset and we're talking about how to get your mind straight to help you reach your goals. Affirmations are the first habit that I do attempt to practice on a regular basis. I have them written for several areas of my life, and there's something that should be used on a daily basis. Now, what are they? They're not goals. Affirmations are something that you set for yourself, and there's 5 parts. So this is where your pen and paper will come in handy for you. You know, your mind is the most powerful tool, you guys, that you have. And so what you need to know is that affirmations are the most effective tool that we have for becoming the person you want to be quickly. Affirmations are the most powerful tool you have to becoming the person you want to become quickly if you'll practice this habit every day. Right? It's like the saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right either way. Or the little engine that could, right? I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Those are sort of ideas of affirmations. So how do you create an affirmation? Again, I said it's different than a goal. You have 5 pieces to affirmations. Number 1 is, what do you want to do exactly? You have to write this out. You have to write it out because you're going to read them to yourself every day. What exactly do you want? Number 2, why? Why do you want exactly what you want? And that should include feelings and emotions and all of those, deep-seated reasons why. Number 3, you will need to write down who you are committed to becoming to create that goal, to create that end result. Who you are committed to becoming. Number 4, what you are committed to doing to get to that end goal. And then number 5 is any inspirational or motivational quotes, kind of like what I shared at the beginning. Those are powerful, emotion-evoking, ways to kind of beef up your affirmation. So that is something that you should have written out. You can do this for your running. You can also do it for any area of your life that you need to improve in, your relationship, your finances, your job, your spirituality, anything you can set an affirmation for, and it should evoke all of those feelings, those emotions. And then you're going to visualize, you're going to practice visualization. I'll tell you myself, I struggle with this one. Affirmations a little bit better, but visualizations, they're a little hard for me to do. So to do them, now maybe you guys can answer this question, or raise your hand, put a little comment in the comment section if you've done this. But I was told as a young runner that I needed to visualize my race as I was preparing for my high school state cross country meet or state track meet, or even this much smaller races. That's something my parents taught me from a very early age, is that you should visualize yourself seeing the success and feeling good and crossing the finish line and having good form, and that you needed to replay the race in your head. And many runners are taught that, right? Can you give me a high five or a thumbs up if you've done that before? The very first gentleman in the video this morning talked about his visualization of, he was celebrating his victory, but he had experienced that over and over and over and over again. And LeBron James, the same thing, and crying when the dream becomes a reality. They can feel it so deeply because they've they visualized it for years and years and years and years and affirmed it. And so this is what it means. And this is another thing so to visualize, you need to kind of set yourself up, prepare yourself, be in a calm, almost like a meditative position maybe, or you could have created like a vision board. Those are kind of common with, some of the things on it that are meaningful, that will spark the feelings for you. So mine would have Boston Qualifier on it and that sort of thing. But you need to consider the entire process. So like while I'm visualizing now for my marathon, I'm visualizing the race for one thing, and those last 6.2 miles, and how I'm going to feel, and feeling the weight in my legs, and feeling and I'm trying to make sure that what my positive affirmations is that I will feel strong through the final 6.2 miles, and seeing the clock and hearing the crowd and all of those things. But it's also important on a daily basis to visualize yourself doing what it takes to get there, right? Like getting out and running when you don't feel like it that day, and making a wise food choice when you don't feel like it that day, and celebrating the victories and honoring the struggle, because the struggle is part of the journey, and you need to visualize yourself working through the struggles too. So that was an important piece that I've started to practice in the last few weeks and months that I think is helpful, because you can set a goal and have a plan and affirm it and visualize it, but you're still going to struggle. So you need to kind of honor that too. So that is my example of visualizing. So again, a kind of a daily habit that you should practice when you're working towards a goal. Hi, Kenyatta. Oh, we have so many nice friends joining. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with sort of a call to action. And hopefully if you're just logging in, you go back and watch from the beginning. My hope is that, for one, you're enjoying this group, and we truly are enjoying everybody commenting and connecting. There's been new friendships formed, and we're sending messages out to people just to get to know each other, and we're truly loving this week. And so hopefully you're getting some great stuff out of it. And my other hope is that after this video that you will consider doing something each and every day to work on your mindset. And so as coaches, we practice 10 minutes of personal development every day. We either read 10 pages of a good book, or we listen to something for 10 minutes. Actually, Coach Craig probably does a way ton more than me because he listens to podcasts in the car. There is no excuse. Hi, Melissa. Podcasts are a great way for you to plug into some positive mindset and motivation stuff. Use the time that you're in the car, and make a non-productive time productive. So I have a list of books that are my favorite. I'm going to list them to you now, and then I think I have some written out resources I can share with you. But some of my favorite personal development books are Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and actually that's where I shared a lot of the information with you tonight is from this book. He actually has 6 parts of his morning that he shares with to make the most of your day. The Slight Edge by Josh Olson or Jeff Olson, I can't remember, but The Slight Edge it might be my favorite book ever. That one, like my children, everybody in the whole world should read The Slight Edge. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy is another great one, similar to The Slight Edge, about the importance of the daily things that we need to do and that are so easy not to do, and we think that it doesn't matter, but it does. So The Compound Effect. Living Forward by Michael Hyatt is another great book about living on purpose and setting goals and priorities, learning to say no and creating like a life plan. That was a really good book too. John C. Maxwell is a superb author, and he has a very good book called Failing Forward. I actually listened to that one on Audible. He really just puts failure into perspective, and if you struggle with that concept, I recommend listening to that. The Energy Bus by John Gordon is another excellent short book. John Gordon, another one, has some great books, but The Power of Positive Mindset and like kicking negative people off your bus, that's a cool concept. We need to be going in a positive direction, and if people are not positive, they're not welcome on our bus. And so that's a really good book too. Podcasts are a fantastic resource. If you want specific suggestions, ask away. YouTube has phenomenal resources for motivation. Eric Thomas and Les Brown are the most motivating guys you could ever listen to. If you are not feeling it on a day, just look them up and listen to them talk, and you will do whatever you need to do that day. And then music, right? Music is another great, powerful, motivating tool to get your mindset right. You don't feel like going for a run, put on some good music and give yourself 5 minutes, and you'll be happy that you did when you're done. Okay, anybody have any questions? We have some good friends on. It can be about anything. You can ask about training, you can ask about racing. We have 2 more days left. We're going to talk about tools, some of Coach Craig's favorite tools. He's gearing up to share that with you guys tomorrow night. And then Saturday's a big one. Saturday is, we're going to talk about fuel and nutrition. I know that I've gotten some personal questions from ladies in the group, and I've had comments, in the streams and among other running groups about what to eat and when and how much and how to stay, how to not have stomach upset. And so I have some information to share with you guys on Saturday to wrap up the week, and that's sort of the plan. So if there are no questions, thank you for joining, and I will check back to make sure that those of you that watch it on a replay don't have any. But my call to action, my challenge for you guys is to pick something to read or listen to and give yourself the gift of 10 minutes a day. So, oh, hi, Julian. You guys, thank you so much for joining. Watch the replay from the beginning and post questions below, and I'll see you back in the group. Have a great night.